This is called Drama in the King's Chamber. Fatigue makes cowards of us all. Vince Lombardi. Local legend has it that Spanish conquistadors used the passages in Colorado's marble caves to secret gold from one valley to the next. Having been in these caves, I highly doubt that. It is more than a little difficult just to get yourself through the tight passages, much less with a payload. The caves were discovered in the 1880s by a man who described them in 1888 as follows. Entrance to the cave is by a crevice in the rock extending some 400 feet. Upon entering, one must crawl a distance of 25 feet. Then, the investigator can walk in a stooping posture for 25 feet. Next, a narrow passage is encountered through which only a person of small stature can pass. And finally, a low passage is reached through which one gains entry into the king's chamber. Please note the phrase, only a person of small stature can pass. I am a very large man. It would be a challenge to take my sons into these caves at my age. Some places are so tight that I have to push all of the air out of my lungs and snake that part of my body through, then suck my belly in and snake the rest of me through. Always put the fat guy in first. If he gets stuck, only one is stuck. The other way around is like a cork in a bottle, trapping everybody inside. This is a very important lesson. Well, the approach to the caves was difficult due to living at sea level all year and sitting at a desk most of that time. The temperature was in the 80s and I was struggling to stay hydrated. My two sons made it with some ease. At the mouth of the cave, we pulled on our wool gloves, hats, headlamps, and nylon wind pants so that we could enter the caves. I went first because I knew the way, and I am the largest by far, but mostly because I'm the dad. I'm strong that way. I'm dominant that way. We army crawled through the marmot scat and bat guano for several yards with grunts and huffs. My breathing was heavy. I heard the guys behind me making guttural noises as they squeezed through tight places like human toothpaste. At one point, Caleb said to me breathlessly, "Dad, I'm pretty impressed that you're making it through these tight places that are squeezing the life out of me." Well, that made me feel good. Then Clint muttered something about the malleability of fat. At several points in the crawl, muscles began to cramp in the most inopportune time. I rued the water I had deprived myself of on our approach. We pushed, pulled, stretched, stooped, and inched our way onward toward the white marble hall, or as the 1888 article called it, the King's Chamber. I noticed my arms getting weaker and my back muscles cramping. Stopping to catch our breath, we decided that we had done the equivalent of over 100 push-ups so far. My arms quivered. I had not done any upper body work in years, and I was soft as biscuit dough. We crawled on in the cold. About 300 feet in, I sat to rest. My heart started racing faster than normal. Looking ahead, I saw tighter and tighter passages. My legs and backs cramped and my arms quivered. I couldn't catch my breath. I can only describe it as panic. In a nanosecond, I flashed on all my possible rescue scenarios and quickly concluded that no one could rescue me. No matter the injury, illness, or hypothermia, the only person who could get me out of these caves was me. Could I wait for the guys to finish and crawl out with them? The heaving in my chest said no. Fear crept up on me. It started in my toes and rose up through my body and settled like a bully on my chest. I said aloud, "I need to pray." The guys got real quiet. Instinctively, I began to pray. "The Lord is my shepherd." I breathed deeply and slowly and prayed some more. The bully pounded on my chest. It's hard to look weak in front of your sons, and I was grateful for the darkness so they couldn't see my face flushed and embarrassed. Finally, fear eclipsed shame, and I said, "I have to get out. You guys can come with me or go on to the White Halls." They both agreed to go on, and I started snaking my way out. "I shall not want. He maketh me lie down in green pastures." In 5 short minutes of crawling, I stopped to listen for my son's grunts and groans. Silence. They were gone. I was all alone. The bully started on me again, and I crawled on. Then I began to imagine all that could go wrong for them, that I would be out and safe, and they would die in the caves. They had never done anything like this before. The bully was kicking my butt all the way out of the cave. Finally, I said to myself, or God said to me, I couldn't tell which due to the bully, but these words came to my mind: "Trust your sons. They're men." Surprisingly, I got out a lot faster than it took me to get in. Adrenaline has always been my favorite drug. The light blinded me, and I blinked several times to adjust my eyes to the brightness. Chilled, I sat in the warm sun and fell asleep waiting for them to come back out. An hour later, they came crawling and squinting out of the mouth of the cave. Clinton described shimmying up a slick, narrow wall like you would climb up inside a chimney. At one point, he said he got scared, and he kept saying over and over and over, "I can do this. I can do this." As I reflected on that experience in the caves with the bully of fear and my plea for Jesus to help me, I began to think maybe I didn't have enough faith to overcome that bully. I started to crash emotionally and question the sincerity of my faith. Later on the trail, a couple of days later, I was pouting over the cave incident, and it was as if Jesus said to me, "Hey, Joe, did it ever occur to you that I did speak to you in that cave?" "How so, Lord?" "Who do you think said, 'Get out'?"